Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about. To my super chat, thank you. I can't do these without you, ladies and gentlemen. Your super chat and your support on this channel is greatly, greatly appreciated. This week begins, the first trial in the Durham Probe Special Counsel. So we're going to talk about the first trial in the Durham Probe Special Counsel. We're going to talk about what this means for the special counsel and what Michael Sussman, the attorney, what could potentially take place in terms of sentencing. So he faces a maximum of 5 years. He probably won't get 5 years. He'll almost certainly get convicted. He'll get convicted because of the text message that you see right here. Hit subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below in the pinned comment. It'll be in the pinned comment when we finish this live stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, to my super chat, thank you. The text message, according to Durham, stated, Jim, it's Michael Sussman. I have something time-sensitive and sensitive I need to discuss. Do you have availability for a short meeting tomorrow? I'm coming on my own, not on behalf of a client or company. Want to help the Bureau. Thanks. And that's the text message that's going to get him convicted. This isn't rocket science. This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to get convicted because of that text message. That is basically the primary reason. Had he not written that, there might have been a possibility. There might have been a possibility that Sussman gets away with what he did. So, Michael Sussman met with James Baker, okay? If you look here, when it says, Jim, it's Michael Sussman, I have something time-sensitive and sensitive to discuss. So let's make this... Okay, so you should be able to see it all here. Quote, Jim, it's Michael Sussman. So he's speaking to James Baker. He's speaking to the top attorney at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Okay, he's speaking to the top attorney at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He's doing that because he's trying to relay information. He's trying to give the Federal Bureau of Investigation data, surveillance data, a whole bunch of fabricated information that Federal Bureau of Investigation, he wants to give them information, I should say. Did I say Federal Bureau of Information? He wants to give the Federal Bureau of Investigation information that was either user-created, fabricated, part of a surveillance campaign against Trump to get the FBI to investigate Trump. This is a big week ahead, exactly. This is a huge week ahead. And you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, David, everybody here, Caroline, hello, Eric, hello, No-American, hello, everybody here, Kimberly, Amazing Colonel, hello. This is the week where Sussman builds the case for future indictments. It's not just the freak. You do great work. Thank you, HA. Thank you so very much, the freak. Thank you. Thank you so much. The kind words mean a great deal, ladies and gentlemen. They mean a great deal to me. And I have, the freak, everybody here, I have the best channel. I really do. I do. I'm very lucky. I swear to God, every day I say to myself, I have the best channel in terms of, viewership, and the people on this channel are so supportive, warm, kind. They're awesome. You're awesome. And I just thank you. Thank you for the kind words. The freak, thank you. They engaged in surveillance of Trump. They tried to obtain data, non-public data, cybersecurity information. They tried to accuse Trump of communicating with servers in Moscow. It didn't happen. So they accused him of something he didn't do. Michael Sussman, Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS, Christopher Steele, all of these people all of these people, I'm trying to fix the, hold on one second. Hold on. I'm trying to fix the camera. Hold on. Jordan Weinberg, thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if the camera, I guess the camera angle's okay. Hold on one second. It's kind of, okay, hold on. Jordan Weinberg, thank you. Thank you, Jordan. I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. The freak, Jordan Weinberg, thank you so very, very, very much. Thank you, Jordan. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. It's funny, Jordan, everybody here, thank you so much. Like, this is an older computer, and I have an older version of OBS, so I'm trying to see if... So hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Okay. So I have the camera and the computer camera, and this is like, you have to understand. Who remembers Oregon Trail and the Apple IIe? Jordan, do you remember Oregon Trail? Eric, you're way too young. Who remembers Logo? Lewis, hello. Hello. Thank you. Who remembers Oregon Trail, ladies and gentlemen? Just a blast from the past. Who remembers Castle Wolfenstein? Jordan, thank you so very much again. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. You have to understand my understanding or see, this is the thing. When I say Bitcoin's going to get to 10,000, I don't understand the blockchain. I can't tell you why Ethereum is better than Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is better than Ethereum. I mean, I understand the concepts. I've listened to many wonderful YouTubers on it and read a lot about it, but conceptually, in terms of the concept, Patricia, hello. In terms of the concept, I understand what's taking place. The market is going to tank. I mean, we've talked about that. The stock market crash channel. I have a segment yesterday on the stock market crash channel that actually did pretty good for the channel. It got 3,000, almost 4,000 views, and about Bitcoin getting to 10,000. So in terms of the technology behind it, I mean, I can hardly run OBS. But from a viewpoint of investing and the market and the economy and what's going to take place in the next year or so in terms of stocks, telling everybody the Dow is going to get way lower than it is now. So is the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and also Bitcoin will get to around 10,000 or below. I think the Dow will get to below 25,000. I think it's going to be pretty bad. But anyway, so Jordan, thank you so very, very much. As always, Jordan, greatly appreciated. Commodore 64, yeah. Who remembers Intellivision? I always do. Faith! Thank you, Faith Killing. Thank you so very much, as always, Faith. Thank you, Faith. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Jordan, Faith, everyone here to my super chat. I can't do this without you. Thank you. This week is going to be interesting because it's going to lay the groundwork for future indictments. Now, he'll get convicted. Whether he gets 2 months, 3 months, a year, 5 years, I don't know. He's not going to get 5 years. So Faith, Jordan, everybody here, Sussman is not going to get 5 years. The reason he's not going to get 5 years is because the judge, and thank you again, Faith, and thank you, Jordan. The reason that he's not going to get 5 years is that the judge does not see, he only sees one thing. He only sees one lie. He doesn't see people conspiring against Trump. He doesn't see everything. He doesn't see the reason for the lie. Now, it'll be very interesting because he is trying to fight it in court. Durham has the text message, and he has about 4 witnesses, 1 Fusion GPS witness. He has 1 tech researcher. He has 2 witness statements from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, so 2 FBI officials, and he has a special agent that could be a witness. So he has 3 or 4 witnesses. Durham has 3 or 4 witnesses, including 2 statements from Bureau officials and a text message from Sussman. So it's pretty much a slam dunk. It's pretty much Gary Payton to Sean Kemp. Slam dunk. Alley-oop. Who remembers Gary Payton and Sean? Well, Gary Payton, the Hall of Famer, Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp was amazing. He was amazing. He was one of the greatest dunkers of all time, without a doubt. Sean Kemp was and also a great basketball player, amazing basketball player. But that was an amazing 1-2 combination. But the Durham probe has everything it needs to convict Sussman. It'll convict Sussman. The thing is, it's not so much, ladies and gentlemen. I know people are going to say, well, he only got a slap on the wrist. Nothing's ever going to happen. Durham has to build a long-term case. He has to build a long-term. His strategy is to prove that there was a plot against Trump by indicting people on crimes related to that plot, that endeavor. So Sussman lied for a specific purpose. And Faith and Jordan, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. The Freak, thank you. Sussman lied because he did not want the attorney at the Bureau. He didn't want the attorney, Comey's top legal counsel. He didn't want that person to know initially he was coming on behalf of Clinton. Clinton hired Sussman, hired the law firm to obtain data on Trump and try to make a connection between servers in Trump Tower and servers at a bank, an Alpha Bank. It never happened. That was something the Bureau looked into and immediately said, yeah, that didn't happen. But you had Clinton, you had Jake Sullivan, you had others on social media trying to foment and tweet about this nonsense. So they fabricate myths. They literally create myths out of thin air. They pay people to create myths. Dwight Perkins! You are crazy, H.A., but your intellect makes for one of the best channels on the internet, entertaining and very informative. The youngest of 5, I easily keep up with your random thought process. Thank you. Thank you! Dwight Perkins! Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated, and thank you for the kind words, Dwight. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. And Dwight and Faith and Jordan, it's going to be a great year. I mean, Dwight, we're heading into the midterms. They're going to get completely obliterated. The Democrats are going to get absolutely decimated in Congress. And what's going to happen is the House and the Senate will have investigations into exactly what Mueller's investigating. So it won't just be the Mueller probe. It'll be the Mueller probe plus investigations from everybody. I mean, like, even Rand Paul will get in on it. Ron Johnson, Jim Jordan. There will be investigations in Congress that are parallel investigations or, in conjunction with the Durham probe special counsel. Durham might not work with, I don't think Durham will work with any of these congressmen or congresswomen, but this is going to be a completely new ballgame. Basically, Trump kicked out every never-Trumper. So Pierre Delecto won't be as popular as he once was. It's going to be a whole new ballgame. Dwight, thank you again. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, when we watch the trial the next week, we're going to see Sussman's defense team try their best to say that everyone at the Bureau knew. This will essentially, this will essentially make the case for future indictments. You cannot, if you are a government official, you cannot meet with the rival. You can't meet with a political party and investigate their rival. You just can't do that. You can't meet with you cannot meet with the Democratic Party. Could you imagine if the tables were turned? Could you imagine if Republican operatives? Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if Republican operatives. Imagine if Republican operatives met with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to investigate Madam Secretary or Mashed Potato Brains, or his son Hunter, or his brother, or anyone. Could you imagine that? The defense from Sussman's team is, well, you don't know what Baker... You don't know any of the notes. You don't know if Baker's telling the truth because none of the notes were... The meeting they had wasn't recorded. Well, hello, the meeting that Strzok had with Michael Flynn wasn't recorded. But they tried their best to just, go after Flynn. And Flynn didn't, and Lieutenant General Michael Flynn did nothing wrong. He did literally nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong he did. Even the judge in the case mistakenly stated that he was working for another country, Turkey. That never happened. He had stopped being a consultant right after he became the National Security Advisor. So, the defense is saying, the defense is saying, the meeting wasn't recorded. The meeting wasn't recorded, number one. Number two, there are people like Andrew McCabe who knew that Sussman was working with Democrats. That is exactly what Durham is trying to prove. But he's not doing it right now. The whole point is you cannot knowingly, if you're a government agency and you're obsessed with, if you're obsessed with Trump possibly being an operative of another country or being installed by another country, you can't simply just accept this information from a political party. And that's exactly what took place. The United States government, when you have people on the left saying, the whole Russia thing was very real. I mean, they did interfere in 2016. Well, how did they interfere? Well, with Facebook ads. Well, can you describe a Facebook ad? Well, the Senate panel confirmed. The Senate panel confirmed an assessment. Well, they indicted, an internet company and operatives. Well, Company One, based on Company One's research. Company One was a third-party tech firm that Democrats outsourced. The Democratic Party never gave their servers to the United States government. Never happened. So the United States government cannot claim with any or look. The intel agencies never prove without a shadow of a doubt anything they say. Everything is high to moderate confidence. So if you read the ODNI report and the DHS report, the two primary intel reports talking about interference in 2016 from the Putin, the interference is based on high to moderate confidence assessments. But see, again, they never read. The people who think that Trump is guilty of everything that's ever happened in everything bad that's ever taken place in humanity, they don't read the actual government reports. The actual government reports actually state highly to moderately confident. We're highly to moderately confident. And that's it. That's all they read is high to moderate confidence assessment. And then they go on to say that there was this huge plot and all these things happened and they really wanted Trump. The problem, however, is that we are now experiencing a geopolitical nightmare. under mashed potato brains, during the mashed potato brains presidency. Why are we experiencing this geopolitical nightmare? That's a question we should ask. Why are we experiencing this geopolitical nightmare during the watch of mashed potato brains? Why is it that under Trump, we didn't have these problems? We didn't have inflation at 8 to 9%. We didn't have contracting GDP. You could say, oh, yeah, we did in his last year. Well, that's not his fault. It's not his fault when Andrew Cuomo is given an Emmy for mishandling everything. And all Democratic governors gleefully, and they were Republican governors too, but they gleefully tanked their economies, shut down, ended economic activity. And it's like, you can't blame Trump for him trying to open up much sooner than expected, or than the quote-unquote experts wanted. I guess I'm veering off to another topic, but this is something I'm passionate about just because I wrote about it in the Federalist in October of 2021. If you look, ladies and gentlemen, corporate profits. You look, ladies and gentlemen, the past 6 months, year to date, I was telling everyone, the market is going to absolutely tank. This number, people, ladies and gentlemen, this number right here, okay, it's going to go way below 30,000. Way below 30,000. Way below. And we're heading into a recession with interest rates increasing and labor shortages in key industries and supply chain breakdowns and food shortages. It's only going to get worse. That's why, you don't have to know much about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to understand that in terms of the conceptually, the value of a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, which is primarily what it will do in the future and how important it'll be in the future, will plummet because the near future isn't going to look good, and people will not want to speculate. Bitcoin's price is tied to the willingness for investors to speculate in the stock market and also the overall economy. When the overall economy tanks, interestingly enough, people gravitate towards fiat currency. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm trying to that I'm against the philosophy. A lot of the philosophy and the idealism behind Bitcoin is great, but then you have countries freezing the Bitcoin. You have scandals and controversies at Coinbase. People getting locked out of their account and not being able to get their money back. All of these things are taking place. It's giving information to the IRS, all that stuff. And it's the idealism erodes, evaporates, vanishes when economic times become rougher and the stock market descends into madness. We have not seen, ladies and gentlemen, we have not seen this. We are not even close, people. We are not even close to the bottom. Yvette! Good afternoon, HA and fellow peasants. Yvette, hello! It is a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Yvette, hello. I hope all is well. Dwight, thank you again. Jordan, thank you. Yvette, thank you. Faith, thank you so much, Faith, as always. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, Yvette, it's we have not seen the bottom at all. And if you look at I want to show you Bitcoin price. I want to show you something. Now, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and year to date, hold on one second. Now, this is not something I want. A couple of comments in my stock market crash channel, people said, oh, it's fear, uncertainty, doubt. You're just trying to sell fear and uncertainty and doubt. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to sell fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not trying to sell fear and uncertainty and doubt. I saw the .com bubble with my own eyes. This is a lot worse because there was no social media back then. Social media is a scourge upon humanity. And people say, well, YouTube is social media. No, it's not. This is a glorified VHS tape. This is a VHS tape that just happens to be live that you're watching. You know, video is still video. Nothing's changed. It's still popping into VHS. It just happens to be that you can watch what you want. Yvette, thank you again. So, if you look, ladies and gentlemen, corporate profits, when 08 took place, declined. So, really quickly, let's just go and we can look at corporate profits. Hold on one second. So corporate profits. There's a really, really, really interesting, it is Statista.com, corporate profits in the United States from 2000 to 2020. So corporate profits in U.S. from 2000 to 2020. Okay, so look at this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So you could just look at this chart, okay? In 2006, so check this out. In 2006, 1.6 trillion in corporate profits. Then you have over 1.2 trillion, 1.285 in 08. It goes down about $400 billion. Okay? If I'm reading this correctly. If I'm not reading this correctly, let me know in the chat, okay? The valuation, the stock market, and this is like, it's interesting because I see these billionaires, it's not like they're so optimistic about Bitcoin, but see, the thing is, they don't care if it goes down to $5,000 or $100 per share. They're going to be billionaires, they'll just buy more. They don't really care. See, not everyone has a 20-year or 10-year horizon to invest or to make money. You know, there's a lot of people who, if Bitcoin gets to below 10,000, unfortunately, and I don't say this with glee, I don't want this to happen. I don't want people to lose money. But you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's just so interesting that nobody sees what's happening. This is also a political issue because when they shut down the economy 2 years ago, that's what happened. Now, corporate profits skyrocketed to like up here, okay? To like, you know, in 2020 and 2022, they went a lot higher than 2.2 trillion. They went to like 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 trillion, something around there. The thing is, look what happens in 2006. It drops down. In 2006, it drops down. In 2008, corporate profits dropped down to where corporate profits were in 2004. So, and the market completely collapses. When corporate profits decline quickly, the market declines quickly. Or when there's the belief that profits will decline, then the market tanks. The reason the market hasn't tanked yet is because there's still remnants, or there's still the $10 trillion pumped from fiscal and monetary stimulus is still in the economy, keeping it afloat and keeping people preventing people from preventing enough people from really hurting, from experiencing the full brunt of inflation. So it's like, this is something like, you see like Democrats, they're like, oh yeah, we want affordable healthcare and this, and it's like, well, that's great, but you've made everything less affordable by pumping $10 trillion into the economy. You made everything less affordable. You made everything less affordable. Everything's more expensive now, and you can look. I mean, you can go down, I guess, look at the chart, but this is actually better. So you can look at this chart. If it goes down, so check this out. Check this out. If corporate profits decline to where they were in 2020, because corporate profits are higher now. So check it out. Check it out. Where was Bitcoin in 2020? Okay, Bitcoin was at 6,000. All right? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. If corporate profits decline to where they were in 2020, which is possible, okay? Which is possible. Very possible. When you look at inflation and you look at the fact that we have contracting GDP, the fact that China could very well, with its debt bubble, with its gigantic real estate debt bubble, could plunge other countries, including this country, into a stock market crash that we're seeing now, but a much more profound market crash. It wouldn't even be their fault. We did this to ourselves. But what happens in other countries affects us, and vice versa. Then you have the price of oil. Check it out. The price of oil is still, it's over, it fluctuates between like $108 and $120. Okay, but we've been pumping strategic oil reserves into the economy, and demand is lower because there's a recession underway. So, but it's still high. What happens if that geopolitical nightmare gets worse? It's not ending. This is only getting worse. It's not ending. So, and what happens if there's a new geopolitical nightmare? China invading Taiwan, potentially. Okay? And you have to ask yourself, if everything is overvalued right now, and we're heading into a recession with interest rates increasing and oil prices well over $100, and contracting GDP and inflation at 8 to 9%. What if inflation goes up? Could you imagine? I mean, inflation went down from 8.5% to 8.3%, and people who think that mashed potato brains is great were jumping in the street as if they won the World Series. And they're like, oh my God, this is great news, amazing. It's like, well, it's still above 8%. Are you kidding? I mean, you have to, this is taking place under their watch. This is taking place under their watch. Yvette! MTG and RP can hold their heads high. Yvette, thank you! Thank you, Yvette. Thank you very much. Thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Yvette, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a Patreon, too. Greatly appreciated. Yvette, thank you. And Faith and everybody here. Jordan, everybody here. Dwight, thank you so very much. The Freak, thank you. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, how on earth, if oil is over $100 and it fluctuates between $110 and $120, okay? If oil is fluctuating between $110 and $120, we have contracting GDP, We have interest rates increasing. We have inflation, the 8 to 9% inflation, and really getting worse in some cases. With geopolitical nightmare. How on earth are corporate profits going to continue to skyrocket? If they get back to where they are where they were in 2020, you look at this chart, the corporate profits go up. I mean, you could look at this chart right here. I'm not making this up. Corporate profits go up, and then they decline. They go up, and then they and this was right after 2008. So we had a pretty good period, but I mean, we still had issues with poverty, but see, the thing is, it took from 2006, it took until about 2010. From 2006, it took about until late 2009 into 2010 to rebound to where we were. So it took about 3.5 years. Think about that for a second. What if it takes 3.5 years? If corporate profits go down, it takes 3.5 years to get to where they were in 2021. Because this thing goes way up. It goes from 20. This is corporate profits from 2000 to 2020. Maybe, you know what, if I can find corporate profits. I know this might be a bit boring, but this is fascinating stuff because, you know what? I'm telling everybody, this is not here. Okay, so and that's quarterly corporate profits. So this is by quarter. So you have, this is interesting. The corporate profits are, even if they get to like where 2021 levels are, you can look. Let's say the Dow Jones. If you look, ladies and gentlemen, so look at the 5-year. In 2021, or in 2020, at the end of 2020, it was below 20,000. If you look at, let's see, for 2019, the corporate profits could descend to 2020 levels. They could descend easily to 2020 levels. So if they descend to 2020 levels, you're looking at a huge decline. That's the point. That's the point. Look where the Dow was in 2020. Okay, it was on its way going up, up, up. Then we single-handedly, because of experts, crashed our own economy. Because of maniacs who said, oh my God, if you don't listen to us, it's a big problem. But all throughout 2020, the Dow was around 26. The NASDAQ, where was the NASDAQ? Where was the NASDAQ? Okay, so hold on one second. It was around 9,000, 10,000. So that's still 2,000. That's 2,000 points down from where it is now. 9,757. It's probably, so it could easily go below 10,000. If corporate profits descend to either where they were in 2020 or close to where they were in 2020. Then there's other geopolitical nightmares. So you just look at, if you all you have to do is look at where corporate profits were 2 years ago and see where the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, where Bitcoin and where all these cryptocurrencies were 2 years ago. So it's not like, this is like just, I understand things in terms of concept. Conceptually, I can see this. And when I wrote the article in the Federalist in October, nobody was talking about this. Absolutely 4,000 points down just year to date. We're not even close, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even close. Like I said, if corporations start, if the profits decline to where they were 2 years ago, we're what, 3,000 points down, close to 3,000 points more in the Nasdaq. And then Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin wasn't even at 10,000 in 2020. In the summer of 20, but interestingly enough, in 2017 it went to from 19,000 and then went all the way down to 3,000. Wow. That's interesting. Wow. Again, this is not, look, it's not something that I want, but it kind of highlights like how duplicitous and disingenuous Democrats are. They talk about working class people and like a lot of the progressives and left leaning people. They're good people, but a lot of it also is like they're like many people are part of a cult. So they don't see, like they don't really understand or acknowledge what happens when there's negative GDP growth. Like the economic part of things, they like to talk about issues pertaining to systemic or injustices or systemic issues. They like to talk about theories, or they like to explain themselves in terms of morality. It is immoral to allow working class people, and marginalized and systemic issues and all these things, like marginalized people or working class people or people suffering through poverty. Life is worse when inflation goes to 8 to 9%, much worse. You can give a check to people and the check will purchase less. We have 3%, 2.7 and 3% real wage decrease. They're not talking about real wages. So they're just talking about buzzwords like, affordable health care. I want affordable health care. That's good. Who doesn't want affordable health care? No, they lied about Medicare for all. They had zero intention of, and they don't even want to vote for Medicare for all. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's like, if you have inflation at a 40-year high and you're going into a recession, then what good is it if people yell and scream they want affordable health care when they're voting for a political party that caused all of this economic suffering with their policies? If you cause the suffering, you have no right to pontificate about the solution. That's like borrowing someone's car, crashing it into a tree, and then saying, oh, you know what? You need a better car. It's like, well, you did this. The car was working until you started driving it. Trump's last year in office wasn't his term. He should never, ever have had those press conferences. My God. But like I said, I mean, it's only unfortunately going to get worse. If you look though, like I said, if you look at the where the Dow was in 2020, it was. I think the Dow. I said 20,000. I think it'll get to 25,000. It'll get down to 25,000. I think that's more realistic than 20,000. Although it hit 19. It hit 19 in March of 2020. So, like, why did this happen? Ask yourself, why did this happen? Why did we have March of 2020? Oh, well, it's, you know what? You know what? What are you talking about? You know what? Well, it was a choice. It was a choice that we made. That was a choice. That was a choice. We didn't have to do those. We didn't have to engage in that. That was a choice to be. That the way that they phrase everything is they justify a flawed policy by saying there was no other alternative. All the experts wanted this. Yeah, but you silenced any dissent. So your consensus was fabricated. If you're hiking with 20 people and there are 5 people who intimidate everybody, and those 5 people basically intimidate most of the 20 people into saying, okay, we're going to jump off that cliff right there. We're going to keep walking, and eventually it'll be fine. Or we're going to hike in a certain location where that'll lead to certain doom. If only 2 or 3 or 4 people voice any dissent and they're marginalized instantly or they're kicked out of the group, and then everyone else just miraculously or coincidentally agrees, that's not a consensus. That's why they're so petrified about Twitter. That's why they want Twitter. That's why they want Twitter to. That's why they don't want Elon Musk to own Twitter. They want to be able to marginalize and silence people. Casey, thank you. Setlick 3 Gaming, thank you so much. Casey, Setlick 3 Gaming, thank you. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Casey and Setlick 3 Gaming. Thank you so very, very much. And thank you also for the kind words always in the comments. Setlick 3 Gaming, thank you. And Casey Martin, thank you so much. But I mean, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's like, you don't really have to, you could just look at corporate profits here. Annual profits after tax. Um, 2018. Oh, these are after-tax profits. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Graph. So, hold on one second. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so corporate profits. Yeah, that's interesting. So, if they get anywhere close to 2020 levels, I'm not talking about July, obviously. I'm talking about, oh, shoot. All right. If they get anywhere close, like, if this goes down from 2.5 trillion From 2.5 trillion to 2.1 trillion or 2.2 trillion. Let's say it goes down, the market will then go down. Bitcoin will get back to where it was 2 years ago because it's tied to the market. So yeah, I mean, so that is basically what's going to take place. The stock market is going to continue to crash, and we're not even. Look at the NASDAQ. We're not even. Look at this chart. We're not even talking about if it's down 25% year to date. Are we talking about any future? Like, this is. You would think it's the worst it's going to get. We have a geopolitical nightmare in Europe, which, by the way, it's just exacerbating. Like, you can't continually, like, everything they do, they Trump Russia everything. So they just ruin everything. It's like everything they touch. Casey Martin, thank you for becoming a member. Casey, thank you, Casey. Greatly appreciated. So, this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, okay, check this out, okay? Check this out. We have a geopolitical nightmare in Europe. And this is, like, really important because this is a political issue, and people are going to say, well, mashed potato brains doesn't control the weather, or oil prices, or formula shortages, or contracting GDP, or inflation. It's like, he doesn't have to control it, you imbecile. His policies hurt everything. He doesn't have to control everything. With Trump, anything that happened in the furthest reaches of the universe was his fault. But if you look, ladies and gentlemen, do you think we're at Can you hear me now, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know if you can hear me, people. Sorry about that. Okay, awesome. Settler 3, thank you. Eric, thank you. David, thank you. Ted, hello. Wallace, thank you. Jason, thank you. Dwight, thank you. Matt, thank you. Caroline, Sandy, thank you. Everybody here. Ed, thank you. So, S23, thank you. So, basically, what's also annoying? Nobody got a notification for this one. Gosh, that's kind of annoying. Why didn't people get a notification? Ted, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, Durham is, let's get back to Durham. Nobody understands this also. Like, it is a special counsel. The way media looks at it is like, well, we already found out that, Trump didn't work, but he has ties. And, he's really friendly with the Pooty one. So, he was really friendly with you-know-who. I mean, I still believe there was something going on. It's like, oh, well, everything you believe was fabricated. You believe in conspiratorial nonsense. But the government said it was true. Yeah, so what? So what does that mean? Who cares if the government said it's true? Governments lie all the time. Or they're wrong. And it's like, I'm reading David's. I left the tab. David, thank you. I know, Ed, it's terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for 10 more minutes. Then I think I'm going to do an upload again prior to midnight. But we'll go for 10 more minutes, people. This trial is not about Sussman lying. Whoa, I see this spider right there. Look at that. Little tiny one. It's far away. Let's just go ahead and... Sorry. No more spider web. Get away from my computer, buddy. Oh my god. It's not moving. Oh, dude. This guy's like a bungee cord. Oh my god. Anyway, this isn't about Sussman lying. It's about the Durham probe finding information that could lead to other prosecutions and indictments. Sussman will get convicted. I don't know, Casey, hello. I don't know how long the sentence will be. I don't know how long the sentence will be, but it's like, oh, Joshua, thank you for the kind words. Joshua, thank you. Just you watching, just everybody here watching and sharing the segment, that's, the best thing for me. So thank you, Joshua. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and thanks to everybody for watching. It's about setting up the framework or the foundation for future indictments. So what John Durham is going to do is very simple. He is going to convict Sussman. While he does that, Sussman's team is going to lay the groundwork for future indictments. They're going to say that everybody at the Bureau knew that he was working with the Clinton campaign and Democrats. Crazy Oliver, hello. Everyone at the Bureau knew that he was working with Democrats. That is against the law. You can't have the assistant director meeting with an attorney paid by the Clinton campaign after the assistant director, the Andrew McCabe, who took money from Terry McAuliffe and Democrats in Virginia. Sorry, you can't do that. I mean, it's like, how is that even possible? You're so compromised, it's unbelievable. How is that even possible? Donna, thank you. Yes. So there will be many pardons. And that's the thing. The higher up, let's say Durham indicts or convicts Andrew McCabe. He will immediately get pardoned by Biden. And then they'll say, well, Manafort got pardoned. It's like, well, Manafort never conspired with another country, which is exactly why he was prosecuted to begin with. Roxanne, hello. Thank you, Roxanne. Thanks, everybody, for becoming members. Thank you. Hope all is well. Joshua! Because I love you when you say mashed potato brains. Joshua, thank you. Mashed potato brains, my God. Mashed potato brains is like, it's just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. I'm going to see if the trial is, no, it won't be. It won't be like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But Joshua, thank you. I'll have a live stream probably earlier tomorrow. Probably around, I would say around 4 p.m. or so. I might do a live stream around 4 p.m. 4 or 5 p.m. I might, just to kind of recap the first day of the trial. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. So kind of you, everybody. Joshua, everybody here. Thank you very much, everyone. Be here tomorrow. I will have a live stream tomorrow. I'll try to do it a little earlier, actually. And I might just do it at like around 6 p.m. or so. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. To my super chat, thank you. Everyone, be here at right before 12 midnight tonight. I'll have a very special Durham Probe segment. And Dwight! Hey, Democrat, a wise one once told me, don't believe everything. Yes! Amazing Colonel. Doot. Thank you, Amazing Colonel. Yes, Dwight Perkins. A Democrat. Don't believe everything that you think. Exactly. Dwight Perkins, you're awesome. Thank you so very much, Dwight. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. Everyone here, have a great evening. Jason, thank you. I am going to go ahead and I'll be back. Please be here at right before midnight, everybody. Right before midnight, I'll have a very important segment on the Durham Probe Special Counsel. And just be here on this channel, H.A. Goodman. Also, I'll have a segment on the stock market crash channel. So please go ahead and be here on the stock market crash channel as well in the pinned comment. Thanks, everybody. But be here on H.A. Goodman tonight. I will have a segment. Tonight on this channel. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. I will have a live stream.